Hello. Thanks for joining me here at Memory Medicine. My name is Dr. Nina Lewis Larson, and I'm a naturopathic doctor currently practicing in Calgary, Alberta in Canada. I'm here today because your mind and your brain are the most powerful assets you have, and I don't want them to fail you. It's been 115 years since Alzheimer's disease was first described in the medical literature, and despite the brightest minds researching this disease, it still challenges us and a cure still evades us. Currently in Canada, 1 in 9 individuals over 65 have Alzheimer's disease, and 2/3 of those are women. It's expected that 160 million people worldwide will have Alzheimer's disease by 2050. So I'm not exaggerating when I say I believe this is a tidal wave headed straight towards us. Despite this omnipotent disease has quantifiable and modifiable risk factors. And just because your genetics may point you in a certain direction, you can actually modify those genes through epigenetic alterations of your DNA expression. I know it sounds unbelievable, but many areas of your DNA can be turned on and off by controllable factors such as how well you sleep, how much you're exercising, how you manage your stress, what your vitamin, mineral, and hormone status are, what your exposure to toxic elements may be, if you're fighting any chronic infections, and many others. So by identifying and modifying these risk factors, we can actually reduce the likelihood a person will progress to Alzheimer's disease or experience other forms of memory loss. If you're already experiencing memory loss, we can assess and support this contributory factor so that the disease may have an opportunity to reverse the symptoms you're experiencing, or at the very least, may be able to slow the progression. Alzheimer's disease falls under the umbrella of dementias. Dementia is the general medical term for memory loss, which comes in many forms, the most common form being Alzheimer's disease. It's believed that Alzheimer's disease comprises 60 to 80% of all dementias. Through the work of Dr. Dale Bredesen, we now know that Alzheimer's itself is comprised of many different forms. And in fact, it looks like Alzheimer's disease has 40 or more contributory factors that make up this one disease. So it's not exactly one disease, it's actually many diseases that culminate in the common dysfunction that creates the changes in the brain of beta amyloid and tau protein buildup. We'll also see things like neurofibrillary tangles. So when these factors come together to cause these cognitive changes we subjectively experience or objectively observed by a caretaker or loved one, along with the pathological brain changes, we then term this disease Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so for a bit of light in this difficult story, by utilizing the RECODE protocol, we now know how to assess an individual for many of these potential contributory risk factors. Whether a person is already experiencing memory loss or concerned they may develop memory loss in the future, this comprehensive assessment will help us determine what specific areas need to be supported, augmented, and or treated to reduce the tendency the brain will initiate progression towards pathological changes. The assessment is very comprehensive and it looks at areas such as sleep quality and oxygenation, inflammatory cascade triggers, blood sugar regulation, stress coping skills, hormone level assessment, vitamin and nutrient level assessment, heavy metal burden assessment, gum disease and general dental assessment, including root canal workup, environmental toxin exposure, exercise adequacy, and many others. So as you can see, the workup is extremely comprehensive, and what we're trying to do is really pinpoint if there's specific areas that triggered that shift in protein metabolism in the brain, leading towards pathological changes, causing systemic symptoms and subjective and objective memory loss. I'm here today because I want you to know there's a way we can look at these factors. There's a way we can reduce your risk, and there's a way we can support you if you're already struggling. Thank you for joining me today. Please check out my other videos on a more in-depth look at the details surrounding memory loss as well as the memory loss protocol. Thank you. Have a great day.